Hey friends, today we are going to study about select statement. There are multiple things which we can perform through select statement. In the last video we have just gone through select statement where we could select some data or some particular rows or all the rows from a particular table from all the columns. So in that case what we have learned last time was like in select, that was through select we were selecting all the rows of all the columns of a particular table, but now today we will be seeing the multi-purpose usage of select statement in SQL. So let's start with that. So first let's bring in the database that we are going to use, the table which is there in the database db1. So we will be using the database db1 and the table will be annual enterprise survey. So first let me bring in the database in use. So you all know how to bring it in use. Last video I have shown it. So it is coming, that means it is there in this SQL server as a database. So we'll be entering it and see all the red cross marks are gone, that means it is right. So executing it, so it is taken up by the server that currently we are on use. I mean db is on use. Okay, now let's move on to the next thing, that is select statement. We will be writing select star from the table. Let's pull on the table from the database. So we will bring in the table. So this is the schema of the table. Schema I'll be telling you what is the schema, data model and everything I'll be explaining. Slowly and slowly we'll go on with those things at once. You will not be able to digest that much. So this is select. Let's select it. You know what does it mean? Select star means fetch all the values, all the rows of all the columns from that table, whether it's null, whether it's any value, anything it is, just fetch it. Okay, so from annual enterprise survey 2020 I have got all the columns, that is year, industry code, NZSIC, industry name, me, size, group, variable, value, unit. So these are the total number of rows, 65,535 it's showing. So you can even find the count of all the rows of this. Okay, so how you will do this? So this is one of the functionalities of select statement in SQL. Now next functionality that we will be seeing is through select we can at once, if suppose this bar is not there and it is not showing here, then how we'll understand that how many rows are there, how many columns are there. So how we'll know that? So there is one function called count, and if you're using star within that count, so it will be counting all the rows whether it is null or not, whether it is filled up with the value or whether it is null. So it will be counting all as an object and the total count will be given up to you. So count from this table again will come in use. So like suppose I am writing that name of that table, what will happen if the table really exists within that database that we are using currently, then that will appear in the pop down, and from there, from the pop down we can just take it up. Okay, see it is appearing, so you can take it up. Yeah, I didn't click it nicely, that's why it didn't come. So you have to select it and then enter it. So the table is coming, that means it is there. See, count, that is 6,500, 65,535 rows are there that it is showing. Okay, if you want to name it as anything, total number of rows. See, you understand this total number of rows. Wait, I'll give it as like, yep, this is working. Yeah, see, this is working. So you'll have to take it as one thing, so then in that case it is going to work. So now it will be printing as, so what do you understand from this? That we can even create a new column. See, total number of rows are coming as a name of the column. So now you can identify that what we were trying to find out. So through this select statement, along with this select statement, through we cannot say, because through select statement we're not doing anything. Within the select statement we can create a new column also, whether it is count, whether it is anything else, whether we want to add two columns, the values of the two columns. Actually, if it is integer type or float or any double type, we can add the values and then find it and place it in some other new column. That itself we can do in the select statement, within the select statement. So I'll be doing that also. So let me once again fetch all the columns of this table. See, I've fetched. Now we can add the year and value columns, values of those columns row by row, it will be added. Okay, so what we can do is, because other columns we cannot add because that is a string or varchar, it can be character it is, but we can add n carry n varchar it is, but we can add this two columns, that is year and the value. So let me select year plus value column. Simply you use this. Simply if I want to give it an alias, you must be knowing that is we are giving it as a we are giving it a column name so that we can identify it in the later usage. So whenever we want to use, okay, as total value, anything, total value, total value is already there, so that's why it is val total val from, okay, and you write annual if it is there. If it's nothing, I think there's something mistake in this, so this is there, okay, so this is there. Year plus value, wait 1 minute, this should give the value as total val from, let me copy this, yep, this should give the result. Let me see, total val, yep, this is there. So the error was what? If you are giving some space when you are giving a name to a new column, you cannot, you will have to use a single word. So that is the C, it is giving. You can even print along with it multiple columns like year if you want to verify that whether the value is correct or wrong, that also you can do it that, okay. Now guys, one more thing, that is year and value column has come and the total you can just add on and see that whether it is correct or not, the total val column is correct or not. Now one thing you'll have to keep in mind that the variable which is the column name which is coming before from will not have any comma. You will not be using any comma, that is you will be using comma between multiple columns if you are fetching, but you will not be using the column which is just before the from, okay. So this is an important point. Now let's move on to the next thing, that is you have understood how to fetch multiple columns, how to use those columns and then create a new column within the select statement itself, count within the select statement itself, how to fetch all the columns from the select statement itself, from the table itself. Now let's move on to distinct in the sense means, distinct in the sense you only want to fetch distinct values. Like suppose if a name is appearing 10 times within a particular column, you only want to print it or fetch it once so that you can understand that how many distinct names are there. Like suppose here 2011 appears so many times, okay. After that if you keep on scrolling this, you will find 2012 16 appearing so many times, 14 appearing so many times, 12 appearing so many. I just don't want this many times, I just want only one time. So what will I do? Select distinct function is there, distinct T-I-N-C-T, okay. So distinct D-I-S-T-I-N-C-T, distinct, which column you will be entering column name within this bracket, okay. I want without any inverts and all, okay. So this is distinct year, I want to fetch within year from, what is the name of the table? A table name we'll have to use in this way only because it is taking in this way only because it is since I have bought it from the Excel sheet, I have taken it from Excel, it was there in the Excel format and I have just uploaded it over the SQL, so that's why I'm getting this type of thing. Otherwise if I would have created it in the SQL server itself, I would not have done this way, okay. Now see, only distinct values are coming. Now if you want to find out how many times 2015 is coming, that also you can do. See this column, I'll alias it as distinct distinct year call, okay. So see, I'm not using any column, any comma before from and all, so this is distinct, okay. Now I just want to find out that how many times this is appearing, so I'll be using one more thing, that is this only I'll be using. Let me copy this and use it within count, okay. Count this. Now this will give me that how many times 2015 is appearing, as count of distinct years, distinct year. Okay, year. Now let me just execute this statement. 3 times if you will click, it will get selected. So is invalid column annual, this is invalid. Okay, what is invalid? As because it is not contained in either an aggregate function. It is okay, wait, I'll just remove this. Now it will run. See, it was not running because since we are using this, so we need to use some aggregate functions, but since we have not covered that in my video lectures and all, so I'm not doing that now. Simply you will just use count, and automatically it will take a fetch that how many distinct years are there in the table. This you have got understood. So this was the like today I just wanted to go through this many. So you have understood how to create a new column through select, how to select only the desired columns through select, how to select all the columns, all the rows through select, how to find out the total number of rows through select along with the null values. So this was all about that. And if you want to find out only the values, the number of rows within a column which contains values, not null, then that also you can do. Just remove this asterisk and name it like what you will name it, any year. Suppose I'm taking it as year, so I'm taking it as this. Now if I just want to execute it, I'll be executing and this many numbers, so there is no null value within year. But if other columns you will see, there you will find some null value, so it is by coincidence that there is no null value within this year. Okay, so this was the lesson which I wanted to like have today, and it would be great if you could kindly share this video and like and subscribe this so that people could go through this. And if anybody is trying to get into data analyst or data engineering part, they can just go through this video and in a very simple way could understand the SQL. So that was my motto. Thanks a lot. Please subscribe this. Yeah, thank you.